my fellow humans, welcome back to Scatter Love Tarot. It's your girl coming at you with another pick a card reading. I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey, this channel, this ever-growing tribe. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. And for those of you that are new here, welcome. This is a reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. Please allow me to apologize for the lack of pick-a-cards this week due to technical difficulties and equipment malfunction, as well as family visiting from out of town. I was not able to get caught back up for your readings. However, that is changing. I am back on a schedule now. Things are shifting for the better. So I'm just letting you know right off the bat. Today we are doing powerful messages from the dragons. This was a channeled message to me. It was really intense coming through. They're not letting me live it down until I do this. So today we are doing that. I actually got a new dragon oracle deck. This is called The Pride of the Dragons by Angelo Thomas. And we are going to also be getting one of the Dragon Path oracle cards from Caroline Mitchell. So we are going to get an extremely powerful message out for you today. Let us go ahead and move into our prayer, and we will get this underway. So I hope everybody's having a beautiful day, whatever time it is, morning, evening, afternoon, night. And let us get this in. All right, my beloved source, this prayer is for any and all who come onto this channel, whether it's for a moment's time or for the entire time. I ask today that you bring the messages of the dragons through clearly, that you remind us that we have the ability to connect with these powerful energies anytime we choose. If we ask ourselves to connect with them, if we ask them to connect with us, knowing that we are protected from any dangers, knowing that we are connecting to the highest good as long as our intention is thus. I ask that you open our hearts to the messages that are coming through today so that they may connect with our higher selves and confirm any information that maybe we've been feeling, that maybe we've been nudged at or hinted at by you, or even that the dragons themselves have brought through that are confirming those messages deeply and strongly. I ask that you remind us all that as long as our intentions are good, and as long as we are trying to align with our highest path of purpose and our path of light, that we are always and forever connecting with you and becoming an expression of you direct. Knowing that we are in our soul the heart of good, and knowing that our soul is asking at all times to express that good. As these words are spoken unto this reading and upon this collective, so shall they be. Amen. Aho. Aseh. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my beloved source. Thank you. Let me go ahead and get this set up out of the way. All right, so let's start with the Pride of the Dragon Oracle source for our dragons, actually dragons of highest light and love for pile number 1. What dragon oracle card will help us better understand the powerful message that you have for us today for pile number 1? What dragon oracle card will help us better understand what powerful message you have for pile number 1? Okay, wow, if I can grab it, there we go. And for pile number 2, Dragons of Highest Light and Love, what Dragon Pride Oracle card will help us better understand the powerful message you have for pile number 2? Thank you. And for pile number 3, Dragons of Highest Light and Love, what Pride of the Dragons Oracle card will help us better understand the powerful message you have for pile number 3? Thank you. And these cards are definitely unique. They're a lot different than you would expect. So we have on the bottom Familia Guardian, the Pride of the Earthly with 17. So I do feel like this is coming through, reminding us how we are protected, even from those that we think we're not protected from. We are absolutely protected. So let's see what else we got coming through. All right, dragons. What Dragon Path Oracle card will help us better understand the powerful message you have for pile number 1? Thank you. Dragons. What Dragon Path Oracle card will help us better understand the powerful message you have for pile number 2? Okay, thank you. And for pile number 3, dragons, what Dragon Path Oracle card will help us better understand the powerful message you have for pile number 3? What Dragon Oracle card will help us better understand the powerful message you have for pile number 3? One card, please. Thank you. Right, and on the bottom, ooh, we have a luminaire, and this is just all about being enlightened to a higher version of ourselves, right? Connecting with higher dimensions. This is even higher than the 5th realm. This is like the 6th dimension up to like the 13th dimension. So this is connecting with those higher dimensions. Maybe connecting with our dragon family is a message that's coming forward with the collective, with the 2 cards on the bottom of each deck. That's definitely what it feels like, is that this is the dragon family that you have coming forward to connect with you and remind you just how powerful you truly are. Feels like maybe you've forgotten somewhere along the way, forgotten how incredible you are. And it's easy to do so, especially in a world that's so judgmental and harsh. It's easy to forget our powers because we're being told constantly by people or by situations and circumstances that we are not that powerful. And that is definitely an illusion. And a luminaire comes to enlighten us to those illusions that are not truthful. So for pile number 1, we do have this beautiful green aventurine for you to pick from. For pile number 2, we have this beautiful yellow jasper. Okay. And for pile number 3, we have this beautiful unakite. So pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3, and whichever one you're drawn to, that should be the message for you. And with that being said, I will see you over on your chosen pile. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful green aventurine, or if you were drawn to these 2 cards during the shuffle, then this is going to be your powerful message from the dragons and the dragon realm. First, I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a part of this ever-growing channel, supportive of this tribe. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time in this space with you. And for those of you that are new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. Should these messages happen to resonate with you, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. With that being said, let's go ahead and hop to it and find out what is the powerful message from the dragon realm for you, pile number 1. So dragons of highest light and love, what powerful message do you have for pile number 1? Dragons of highest light and love, what powerful message do you have for pile number 1? Dragons of highest light and love, what message do you have for pile number 1? All right, so we've got the 7th house, Aquarius energy, and Mars. Finding a friend group or a professional setting that actually is inspired by your leadership here. They want to remind you that there are people out there who are enamored by you in the best possible way, because you inspire them to become their best version of themselves. You inspire them to embody the unique capabilities, talents, and powers that they have themselves. And you help them remember that it's okay to take action towards those energies, right? I feel like maybe you have been feeling alone for a while and wondering, like, when am I going to be connecting with my soul tribe? And pile one, it feels like the dragons are pointing out that you already are. And maybe it's because they're not physically in your life, but it's over some sort of platform, or it's at maybe work and it's a very finite amount of time that you actually are with them. These could be clients, this could be people that you serve, this could be people that you help in some way, shape, or form. But I just feel like the amount of time that you spend with them is very finite, it's very limited. You're already connecting with your soul tribe, and the dragons would like to point out that you are seen as a very straightforward leader who is willing to embody and embrace unique ways of helping others heal and helping others to find balance in their lives. You're very unorthodox in the way that you approach all things that you do in life, but especially when it comes to how you connect with people. You stand out because of your compassion. You stand out because of your fairness, how you fairly treat others. Like, you want everybody to have justice in their life. You want everybody to be seen as an equal, and you want everybody's story to be heard. And it's like, even if the story is not the most glamorous story, they still deserve to be heard. They still deserve to be seen and understood. And because of that, you have so many people who are already just so happy that they're connecting with you in one way, shape, or form. And it might feel like you don't, because maybe you don't get to hear the feedback, or they move in silence, or maybe you don't have as much time with them as you would like, what you expect your soul tribe to be like. And they're saying to not fear or worry about that, because it's different. The way that you are going to have a soul tribe is going to be far different than many people on this earth and in this realm, because it feels like, even though you are very much about helping others connect with their divinity and their internal world and finding that justice in their life, you're very much someone who enjoys being solitude, like in their solitude and in that hermit mode and reconnecting with yourself. And so what you might have imagined your soul tribe to look like, it might not actually fit into that idea, because it's going to fit in much more perfectly with the way that your life is already set up. So if you like to draw away because you're introverted, your friends and your soul tribe are actually going to give you that space. And so the people who appreciate you, they know that sometimes you're going to have to draw away. Like, they know that you're not always going to be readily available for them. But when you are, you bring so much light and you bring so much love, and you're someone who isn't afraid to show that you have experienced what it is that you're teaching them about. So like, if you're healing or if you're doing shadow work, you did that first, right? You worked on that part of yourself first before you brought it to people. Or if you're even a doctor, or if you are like a chiropractor, or if you are a healer of some sorts, you had to go and learn about that first and be able to diagnose that within yourself first. If you're some kind of intuitive or some kind of psychic with gifts, you had to learn how to trust that gift for yourself before bringing it to others. And so what they're saying is that through that process of burning away the blockages and what was old, you're coming into this position now where people appreciate that you're not 100% readily available to them all the time, because when you are, they get touched by your light, and that light, it forever changes them. And so the dragons are really pointing out that there's no need to be worried about whether or not your soul family is coming. For you, pile one, I really have this energy that they're already here, but you may not know that they're actually your soul family, because it's a lot different, the connection that you hold with them than what you would imagine otherwise. So let's get some tarot out on it and find out what else they would like to say. Yeah, you're extremely fortunate at this time, and there's a lot of things that are shifting for you as well. So dragons of highest light and love, what powerful message do you have for pile number one? What else would you like to come through? What powerful message do you have for pile number one? I need to get like some paperweights or something here. Let me see if this will hold it. Okay, that should hold it. Dragons of highest light and love, what message would you like to share with pile number one? One more, they said. Okay. What message would you like to share with pile number one? Yeah, you're like a bright, like I keep hearing that bright, bright, bright sunshine day. Like everybody feels like you're just a bright addition to their life. Like you bring the sun to them, and it feels like it feels fresh and good, and like it's balancing out the darkness because you're so bright. You shine a light on the darkness that was scary, and you're showing them that there's no reason to fear that. Okay, so let's see what comes through here. It's interesting that we would get the Ace of Wands in the reverse as the first card here, showing self-sabotage. That's what the Ace of Wands stands for in this deck. It's really about self-sabotage. Yeah, and being stuck in a negative cycle. You really want to connect with the people that you are on this journey with, right? Look, we have the Five of Cups on the bottom showing the networking card here. So the dragons are trying to point out that you're already connecting with them, but there's some sort of mindset that you're harboring right now that's saying, oh, I'm not with my family yet. I'm not with my soul tribe. I'm not with the people who I connect with. And I just feel like you have a different type of way of connecting with people. Like you may have an online business, or you may have a YouTube channel or a TikTok, or you may have Instagram or even Facebook or anything like that where you're connecting with people online. Or there's an energy here where there's like some sort of podium in front of you. Maybe you're a caller, you call people on the phone, or like even if you're a doctor, you could be an online doctor or something along those lines. Or even in the chiropractic world, you only see them for a short amount of time, but it feels like the people who are very drawn to you, who feel like your tribe, who you connect with, you have these beautiful conversations with that are very short, sweet, to the point. They're very in depth, and you enjoy those conversations. But I do feel like the dragons are pointing out that you had this mindset of having a much more stable type of friendship with your soul tribe, where it was like, oh, we're in each other's lives constantly, we're in each other's lives, and we're going out to coffee, we're going out to dinner, we're going out to here. And it's like you have a very unorthodox way of connecting with people, which actually makes your friendships very unorthodox. Yeah, so because you enjoy your privacy, and because you enjoy your solitude, and you are very much in this place of healing your emotional well-being, like all of that comes into play when you're asking to manifest this. And the dragons are telling you that right now your emotional well-being and health and connection to your inner world is far more important than having this connection with others physically in your life. When you're already getting your emotional needs met, maybe you don't realize it because it's not just that codependent energy that you're used to from the past, where you've always had somebody in your energy and you never had an opportunity to recover from that somebody, whether or not that person was toxic or not for you. You never had a chance to recover and connect back with yourself. And so there's that outdated thinking coming in where it's like, I have to have somebody in my energy at all times. That's the only way that this is stable. But you see here, it's like people are already coming in and they're offering a connection with you. They like the way that it's set up because you're so powerful, pile one. You're incredibly powerful. You have this very unique energy, and it's actually very overwhelming to people who have not healed. Like, it hits them right in their heart chakra, and it hits them right in their sacral chakra, and you unknowingly are forcing healing onto them because you're a divine alchemist and you're a divine shaman energy. And from that, it's creating a position where when people are connecting with you, it's like they have to face these traumas, or they have to face these emotional blockages, or they have to face the fact that maybe their heart is not as open as they'd like to think that it is. And so when they connect with you, they love that is happening, and they love that this is going to be something that they have to recover from as well, because when they come and connect with you again, they're already a step higher. And that's what your soul tribe is. It's like they're glowing up and growing up with you subconsciously and emotionally, but you were the one that had to go first. And so you're actually a leader among friends, is the energy that's coming in. You're very much in this place of being the one who had to discover what it was to heal first. And so it's frustrating because sometimes we're looking for a mentor for ourselves on our journey. It's like, can't somebody be a mentor for me and help me heal? Like, can somebody help show me the way? But you're such a large energy. It's like you've already done so much healing in past lives and on other planets and in other star systems. And it's like you've learned so many lessons that it's like your soul tribe is now coming in, and they're manifesting with you here on this earth at this time, saying, hey, pile one, be our leader, because with you leading us, we know that we'll go great distances. And so you are connecting with people in a very unique way. And it does feel like really this is more about like business connections, but that's really what it is. You know, 7th house is all about romantic relationships, interpersonal relationships, intimate relationships, friendships, business partnerships. So, and it can talk about contracts. And so you could be like a lawyer or someone who draws up contracts for people. It could be marriage. So you could be a marriage counselor, something along those lines. It absolutely could be someone who works in the justice system as well. But with this energy, especially with Mars energy, it's like you actually help people heal. So I'm hearing that sexual healing. Who sang that song? Marvin Gaye, Sexual Healing. If you don't know the song, check that out, because I can't sing it for you because I don't know the original version. I only know the remix by Kygo. But Sexual Healing by Marvin Gaye. There might be some more messages for you in that song, but it's like you're helping people heal what was hidden. And it's like you have this magical shovel that when people meet with you, you're just unknowingly, your soul is in there digging out traumas and digging out dirt and digging out this stuff that they're embarrassed by. And basically it's like a soul call out, like, hey, I'm calling you out on your BS, but not in a mean way. It's not like you're doing it in a ruthless way or anything like that. And you may have noticed that people sometimes get very antsy in your energy, and that may have made you feel very upset about yourself. Like, again, with this self-sabotage. And the 5 of Swords in the reverse talks about being surrounded by negativity and being engulfed in negativity. But what the dragons are showing me is that this is a mindset rather than it actually being the reality of the situation. It's just that a lot of these people, when they are around you for too long, they begin to get very like, oh, I gotta go, like, this is too much for me, this is too much for my system to handle, this is too much for my soul to handle, this is too much for me as a person to handle, I really gotta go, I gotta cut this time short, like, I'll see you next time, I'm so glad that we had this time. And so you might not be the one who ends conversations, other people might end the conversation for you, but it's like this feeling of like aloneness because people just don't see who you are. What the dragons are pointing out is that there are actually very many people that surround you that see exactly who you are. And they're not even mad about who you are. They're not trying to gossip about you. They actually adore you exactly as you are. And they're so grateful that you're a part of their life, because for once, they feel like they're absolutely understood and seen because you've done it first. You went the distance, and now you're helping them find the path to an ascension route that was otherwise blocked. And however you got there, that's not what they're highlighting here, but it's like they're all just so glad that you did it. And they're showing you here because the 5 of Cups in the Tarot Marseille, its simplest form is the networking card. So for this to come out with the 7th house, we see this like idea of having people in your energy, having people in your life who are there for you. And you're actually the one at the center here with the Ace of Cups that's overflowing. And you're helping others find emotional balance because you're the one that's filling others, because you continually purge out your subconscious energy and your feelings of hurt and anxiety and worries. But right now, self-sabotage is coming through because with this surrounding the moon energy, which is the powerful energy, you're working from the divine feminine. This is the dark feminine energy coming in. This is a very healing energy, right? And it's something that's been denied in our realm for so long, that because of that, when someone is very much in that powerful energy, a lot of people don't know how to embrace it. And you have this past energy or pattern that's coming in saying that a relationship has to be XYZ, and the dragons are asking you to open up to the possibility and the potential that maybe a relationship doesn't have to be like anything that you've actually experienced before, but that it could be something that is far more substantial and far more protected and absolutely far more stable than you've ever experienced in your life before. And knowing that because of that, it will not look the way that you thought that it should. It will look exactly how it's going to look. And that's a little scary here for you, right? It's an uncomfortable change, but emotionally, you're ready for it. Emotionally, you're ready for it. Mentally, which is the emotional ego, the ego is trying to say, oh, no, there's something wrong with me. Right? But we see here that that's actually the self-sabotage coming in, saying I'm not worthy of having all these great connections. I'm not worthy of having this surrounding tribe that is just different, but it works for me because I enjoy my solitude and I enjoy drawing back from that constant grind of putting myself out there. So let's get some oracles out here and see what comes through for you. Yeah, the 10th house, structure, discipline, life mission, accomplishments, and career. So your career is what's leading you straight to your soul tribe. They're actually a part of it, and a lot of people are watching you glow up as you go. And that's why it's like you're connecting with them. You've also had to learn from sacrifice and overcoming the blockages and the burdens. And that's what we talked about. It's like you did that so that you could help others do that as well. We have house 1, your individuality, your self-image, and your approach to life. And because of that, you have helped others find out who they are when they come to this life as well, knowing they don't have to fit into some cookie cutter version or some mediocre lifestyle that was predicted by someone else, right? Look, we have yin energy. I can't make this up. You're very much in this powerful dark feminine energy. We have yin with intuition, trust, patience, spirituality, and receptivity. Taurus, Cancer, Virgo, Scorpio, Capricorn, and Pisces. We have, and it's interesting because I was getting Capricorn in the first house. So you could have Capricorn rising, a Capricorn moon. Capricorn moon is coming up on the 21st of this month, so I believe this will be posted right before that. So this could be energy that is shifting for you as well around the Capricorn moon, but that there's something very powerful for you to do that. I also heard Capricorn in the 10th house and Pisces, 1st house, sun, moon, rising, or 8th house. Okay. So, and if that's not you, that's okay. That's just that's a confirmation for someone who needs it right now. Full moon. Yeah, look, I cannot make this energy up. We have the full moon coming out over the moon. Completion. This is a completion of a cycle for you, is owning that maybe my life is just going to be different from others in the way of I'm not going to have people constantly in my energy. And it's because the dragons are trying to help you recognize that you really do need your downtime. You really do need that separation from others to reconnect with your powerful energy, because you give so much. And you give freely, like you don't expect anything in return except for source to grant you your manifestations, your wishes, and your desires, which is fine. But the dragons are reminding you here that there's something beautiful about when you complete a situation with someone. You're at the center, you're at the heart of that with them. You're at the heart of that drama, that trauma, that issue with them. And then when it's done, they get to go and grow on their own and find stability on their own. And you've forever changed their lives. And so for you, you may have had a lot of earth angels, guides that come into your life for a very short period of time to help direct you. Even the dragons in human form may have come to direct you along the way. And you're always like, man, if they could just stick around. But that's the thing. It's like if they stuck around, you would become complacent with your energy, not intending to, but because it's just, that's the way it would work. And so you're more powerful when you're in this energy of always focusing on your emotions, focusing on bringing yourself back to who you are and understanding that part of yourself. That's a part of your path of purpose. On the bottom, we have movement. That's when you're moving the best. That's when you're in the flow of life, is when you're understanding yourself. You know, and life wasn't meant to be easy. Simple, sure, but not easy. Easy is when complacency happens, when we're just given everything, or when we feel like we don't have to move forward. That's when we become complacent, and the purpose of our soul is forever growing, right? Yeah, look, I cannot make this stuff up. Look, this is one of the only cards that has the moon this big on the card. We have number 11 with power and deer. They're showing your power is the way you connect with others emotionally. That is your tribe. Right? That is your tribe, is you connecting with others in this emotional, powerful place and helping them find their way through the trauma, through the turmoils of life, through the upside down world that we live in right now, right? Look, and we have song lines on the bottom with Orca. And I feel like this is exactly how you feel even with your soul tribe. You still feel like the oddball out. And in your family, you may have always been the oddball out or the black sheep, someone who is entirely different than the rest of your family, and not understanding why that was. And that same belief is what is creating self-sabotage here, because you still see yourself as a one-of-a-kind person in a world that has no one like you, which is in and of itself a truth. Yes, you are a one-of-a-kind person, but you're not alone. And so they're trying to help remind you that you've already healed these wounds, that they don't have a place in this new realm where you're already networking and connecting with people who are ready to offer you something. This reciprocal energy, this love, this emotion, this inspiration, right? This motivation. Okay, I have a new animal deck that I'm bringing out today, and we've got it already. Way too many cards here. But we have Kiwi, do a walking meditation each day for the next week. We have Goose, express yourself through rhythm and movement by drumming and dance. And we have Meerkat, get support from a trusted group of like-minded friends. And I feel like that's exactly it. These people, they support you from a distance. And they're all like-minded. They all have always wanted someone to lead them towards their best self. And that's you. Yeah, so it's important for you to get out in nature this week, okay? That's something that's very important for you here. We have Ladybug. This is a time of good fortune and abundance. So be willing to receive all the good things in your life. There's a huge shift, and the dragons are trying to point that out towards you, to you right now, that you are in a place of abundance, great, great abundance, to be ready and willing to receive that. Be spirit, sweet results await. Yeah, we cannot make this up, right? There's a lot of good things. So you could be inviting in a new love. You could be inviting in a forever friend that is going to be around all the time, but you're already building your soul tribe without realizing it. Okay, we have dolphin on the bottom. This and that are true. And this is that mindset that if you stay in that old mindset, then that is true. But if you move into this mindset of, I'm already connecting with my soul tribe, they're already here, then that becomes true. And that's what Dolphin Spirit talks about. Whatever you focus on becomes your truth. It becomes your reality in life. Okay, so let me grab the books. I'm going to read these from the books here. Okay, we're going to start with the bottom one. We have Asclepius with number 18. Okay, so Asclepius with 18. All right. So, his dragon message is, Asclepius was a healer of great repute in his time. This dragon in particular reminds us that inside us too are great healers. Isn't that what we've been talking about? You're an amazing healer. The dragon Asclepius has particular connections with practitioners who use healing plants. These are herbalism, essential oils, homeopathy, and flower essence. He also connects with all animal healers, including vets, adding this to his rather shamanic energy. Didn't I say you're a divine shaman at the beginning? I love this connection. Thank you, dragons. And his connection to snake is he is a very powerful ally. All in all, Asclepius is a dragon of the healer and the shaman. If he has stepped into your spread today, it is to remind you that you can call upon his powerful energy, and together you have an immense combination of transmutation and transformation, accepting that your journey on earth is about life, death, and rebirth as we grow and blossom personally and spiritually. He has this to say: you are on the cusp of a transformation. Allow me to guide you forwards along the winding road. Remember, hold on to what you know to be true, for it is your journey and yours alone. Life never stands still. It is forever changing and evolving, and together we can transmute that which binds you. So he's helping you to move on here, but he's also deeply connecting with you right now because of that shamanic energy that you're exerting and exhibiting. It's so you are a divine healer. Okay, you are a divine shaman. There's something very beautiful that you bring to this 3D realm. And so if you need help, call on Asclepius and he'll be there to help you. And then from the Pride of the Dragon Oracle, we have Magic in Reality, Pride of the Heavenly here. Number 23, which is a very uncomfortable number because it breaks down into 5, and 5 is that uncomfortable place of change. So 555 is a very powerful number for you, pile number 1, and that's talking about big things are coming. Okay, big things are coming, but you have to allow things to change, and we oftentimes are in a place of resistance anytime change comes. So the angel connected with this dragon is Nuriel, which is the angel of spellbinding and is the source of this dragon's magic. The element here is ether and air and embody a child's wish sent to heaven. And didn't I say that? Like, you just expect source to fulfill your manifestations, your wishes, and your desires. It says, from the mists of Avalon, a place lost in time, somewhere in the heavenly realms of the angels, comes this dragon. It slides down the currents of wishes sent from children of the earth, just like the water serpent rides the currents of a stream. As it moves, this secretive dragon with an almost lurid green body leaves no trace. It does not wish to be found or followed. This creature is the guardian of celestial magic, the alchemy of the heavens, where reality and wonder create all that is impossible, and all that is possible pales in comparison. Once experienced, your world will never be the same again. This dragon rarely appears, for who would want to leave Avalon so freely? However, when it does, it is so much more than just a call to remember and to believe in magic again. It is a blatant call straight from the celestial beast's mouth to create magic. This dragon is your teacher, your guide. His story is your life, or his story in your life is a tale more enchanting than that of the proverbial sorcerer and his apprentice. Your first step on this magical quest is to close your eyes, visualize your favorite natural landscape from childhood, and meet this dragon there. See it tumbling down from the sky to meet you in a magical place. Sit with it and play with it, and in doing so, learn the language of a child's wish once more. Visit this place anytime you wish to create magic. Call in this lustrous green dragon to bless your visions, and from the heavens will come your creations, guided by the magic of Avalon. And that's what I was saying too when we got the orca spirit here on the bottom, is this a belief that you've had since childhood? And interestingly enough, I picked that up, and underneath that we have sea otter with transformation. So this is something that's trying to transform in your life, and the dragons are helping you with that. They're affording you their energy right now so that you can truly heal this part of yourself and become more connected with your higher self and in alignment with your journey ahead, so that you can really truly begin to network with all the right people in all the right places. You're already connecting with those who matter and those who are meant to be on your journey. It's just a matter of seeing it from a different place and a different mindset, okay? So this is what I have for you, Pile 1. This is absolutely a beautiful reading. I loved it. If you feel like this was your reading, leave a little moon emoji down below and say, I am powerful because I heal myself, and I stand as a sorcerer when it comes to my emotions. And if it resonated with you, it means so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. If you're interested in supporting the channel further, you will find all the links below in the description box. In order to do so, you can email me for a personal reading. You can follow me on over to my podcast on Spotify at scatterlovetarot. You can even join as a member, and I would love to see you on memberships. But if not, thank you for your continued support here. I'm going to go ahead and leave this here and get on out of here. But I do want to take a quick second to thank your dragons for coming through, your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my guides for giving us this incredible message. And until next time, pile number 1, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful piece of yellow jasper, or if you were drawn to these cards during the shuffle, then this is going to be your powerful dragon message. I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey, this tribe, this ever-growing channel. Truly honored to be sharing this time in this space with you. And for those of you that are new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. And should these messages happen to resonate with you, it means so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. So with that being said, let's go ahead and hop to it and find out, dragons of highest light and love, what powerful message do you have for pile number 2? Dragons of highest light and love, what powerful message do you have for pile number 2? What would you like to tell pile number 2? What's your powerful message for pile number 2, dragons of highest light and love? Okay, so we've got the 6th house, we've got Uranus energy, and we've got Libra. There's something here about balancing out work, play, life, and health. It's very important for you to be able to take care of yourself as an entire being. And there's something powerful here that when you're able to balance that out in a very flawless way, you know, like waking up and getting into a routine, you know, eating healthy, drinking plenty of water, having an exercise plan, whatever that is, whatever works for you. It's going to be different from everyone. They're not saying, hey, go to the gym and lift weights. They're saying find something that motivates you to come back time and time again. And if you've already found that, then what we're asking you to do here is to find a valid routine to balance your life out. Because you're about to shift into a time where you're getting a lot of recognition for what it is that you're doing, especially from coworkers, from bosses, and you're going to be extremely busy, and it's very vital for you to have a solid routine, not this like, oh, you know, I work out when I feel like it. I show up every day, but I just don't have a set time. And they're saying that it's important for you to have a very set routine right now. And I know that sometimes that's really boring, especially I'm a Pisces, and so routine is like killer for me because it's so boring. But I also understand that it is so vital for success because it's like part of your plan. So when they're saying to set up this routine, they're saying do it with the mindset that this is how it has to be for right now. But that doesn't mean that it won't change in the future, and that in it of itself gives you freedom and flexibility. So like say 6 months down the line, you're like, okay, I want to switch a couple of things around. You're going to have that freedom to do so, but it's important and vital for you to find this balance right now, because if not, you're going to focus on something else that's not bringing you into balance. Or it's like instead of focusing on your spiritual well-being and your health, you're going to be focusing on what you look like, or you're going to be focusing on the money that you're making, or you're going to be focusing on just trying to pump work out without having a break in between. And they're saying that because of what's coming, there's something huge here, especially with Uranus. This is something that's radically changing in your life, right? This is a huge transformation in your life. This is a huge shift in your life, a huge shift in your energy. Because of that, it is so vital that you find balance here, especially with the Libra energy in between this and 6th house. It's balancing of the routine. So that is all aspects of your day. Can you make a block plan? Can you make an hour by hour plan? Can you do a half hour by hour, half hour plan? However it works for you, set up a routine that you can stick to for the time being. Even if that means instead of showing up for working out for 45 minutes every day, you cut that down to 20 minutes every day, so that way then you also have time to meditate, do breath work, and eat and cook a healthy breakfast. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's like really delegate your time right now. And they're saying you don't have to be so overly obsessed with the amount of time that you're spending everywhere. It's about making it equal everywhere. So 15 minutes on creativity, 15 minutes on working out, 15 minutes on meditation, 15 minutes on breath work, 15 minutes on my spiritual routines. Then I'm going to have to take the whole 8 hours of the day to go to work, delegating out your work at work. And then when you come home, you say, okay, now I'm going to do my spiritual bath or take a shower. And then I'm going to read, and I'm going to do some self-learning and some self-development or personal development. This is why they're saying it's so vital that you have a routine, because there's something shifting here when it comes to your work. Okay, with the 6th house, there's something here that's shifting when it comes to how you're interacting with coworkers, or even how you're interacting with your health body. Okay, so we're trying to help you balance this out. And yes, it's okay, it will shift in the future, but we need to get you into a routine right now, something that sticks, something that turns into discipline more than anything else. It's not that you're not already disciplined. They're just saying they need you to have something that is far more disciplined than where you're at right now. And that's going to help you come into this place of being very clear about the direction that you're taking your life. So it does feel like you're adding a couple of more projects on here, and they're going to be long-term projects, right? We're in this for the long haul. And sometimes with long-term projects, it's so easy to say, oh, I'll get to that later. And they're saying that it's important for you to plan that now. So like if you're making a huge art piece that's going to take a year, right? Some art pieces take massive amounts of time. They're saying it's important that every day you show up and put at least 20 minutes on that. Or even if it's 5 minutes, right? It's just a set amount of time. Every day I'm going to show up and work on this art piece for at least 5 minutes. If I have longer, then I'll work longer. Or if you're trying to write a book or create a comic book, or if you're trying to, make a program or something like that, whatever it is, they're just asking that you put some time forth to put on that. So that it becomes a routine and you're no longer in that mindset of like, oh, well, it's going to take me so long to finish that. Like, I'll just get to that later and when I have time, because when you have time will never become a thing. Dragons, what else would you like to tell pile number 2 here? What powerful message do you have for them? Wow, okay, so we've got the sun coming out in the reverse. And interesting, I saw it while shuffling twice in the upright, and so we have it coming out in the reverse. Yeah, it feels like, okay, let me get hold on before we get into this, because I feel the energy that they're bringing forth. So dragons, what else would you like to tell pile number 2? Thank you. They don't want you to get stuck in a situation. Right? They don't want you to get down to the wire. It's like, I keep hearing like a publication date. So maybe you're writing a book or you're trying to publish something and it's like, you know, they've given you like 6 weeks and you're like, okay, cool. Well, I have 6 weeks to do that. And you kind of are goofing around and whatever. And it's like, you get down to week 3 and you still haven't done any planning. And now you're stressing and you're feeling stuck, like, oh my gosh. And it's weird because right now I have this weird headache in the back of my head. It's like on the back of my head. It's like a stress headache is what they're showing me. And it's like you begin to stress yourself out and now you're suffering from migraines or something along those lines where you're having to ask for an extension. And so the powerful message here is that for you to find delegation of your own time, it will not put you in this place of stressing out about time frames or timelines or deadlines that are coming up. Yeah, and we have the 7 of Wands in the upright. You're going to persevere. You're going to overcome this, okay? Like, there's nothing that's holding you back if you put forth the effort of planning. You know, if they say you can... A man who fails to plans to fail. Like, that's a quote from somewhere. So... But that's what they're showing me right now. It's like they want you to plan. There's going to be a lot of twists and turns coming up here. And they don't want you to be in a position where you feel like you don't have any control. And it could be family who's creating a lot of dissonance in your life right now. And they're saying that you are far more powerful than that. That you can absolutely set solid boundaries with your family. And I know some of you may have kids. And you're like, well, what about my kids? You know, I have to take care of my kids. And they're saying that's fine, but... How could you, instead of rushing in the morning, could you make lunches before bed? Could you make sure their clothes are laid out before bed, or have them help you pick out their clothes before bedtime, you know, making sure that everything is set up the night before so that you set your morning up for success. Still wake up at the same time, but now you're not rushing. Can you create on Sunday night? Can you go through and can you make breakfast burritos for the week? Like, they're just trying to give you creative ideas here to really set yourself up for the week. And even if you don't have kids, that's something that you can follow as well. It's just like really finding a way to maximize the time that you have each day instead of rushing here, which gives you some sort of feeling of either being stuck and I don't have enough time, or a feeling of like maybe you deal with migraine headaches or you deal with stress headaches, or even I'm getting a sinus headache as well. Yeah. We have the networking card here and the Ace of Swords in the reverse. Yeah, this is something that's frustrating for you because it feels like you're getting pulled in 10 different directions. Okay? And that's what I said. It's like with the Uranus energy here and the 5 of Cups, they're making it very clear that you are suddenly going to have a lot of clients to deal with, or you're going to have a lot more things on your plate coming up that are taking care of even more people. And I already hear some of you like, I don't want to take care of more people like that. But you've been wanting a different way in your life. You've been wanting a different type of position in your life. You've been wanting your position to grow, and this is part of that growth. And so the dragons are coming in trying to help set you up for success, to not stay in this conceited mindset. Not that you're conceited, right? The Ace of Swords in the reverse talks about a conceited mindset, which is the emotional ego saying, we can't do this. We don't have time, right? Isn't it famous? The emotional ego is so great at saying we don't have time, while also saying, but we have time to scroll endlessly for 2 hours, but we don't have time to go work out for 20 minutes. We don't have time to do a self-care ritual for 30 minutes, but we have time to endlessly watch TV shows and binge watch for 8 hours a day, right? That's what they're saying. Pay attention to that. What is your emotional ego distracting you with? Well, it distracts you. How is that making you feel when you have other things that are far more important to take care of than being connected on your devices, or being, watching the internet, watching TV, watching streaming, or anything like that? We're all guilty of it because it's so accessible, right? To live our dreams means that we have to say, you know what, that's accessible, it's easy, but I'm going to not take the easy route and do something that is conducive towards the betterment of my journey and myself. And so the dragons are really concerned here because they're showing with the sun in reverse that this is something that can really, really put you in a pickle or a bind. I'm not trying to be, I don't want to curse on the channel, but really mess it up for you on the journey, and it will be really, really stressful. And they don't want you to be stressed out because this is a gift. This is a gift from the divine. Okay, this is something that they're like wanting you to really live in and experience because you've asked for something better in your life, whether that's more money, more responsibility, a better position, a promotion. This could be more clients in your job, whatever it is. But if you're not delegating your time, you're not going to have enough time to take care of this 5 of Cups energy, which is networking energy. This is people coming in. This is people who want to be there with you in your journey and in your life because of what you're offering or what you have. Okay, whatever that is. These are people who are coming because you have that. And, they're saying here that it's something is very intense, and it feels energetically, I'm comfortable with how things have been. So whether that's sleeping in and hitting snooze button all the time, or, waking up and rushing and trying to drive as fast as you can to get to your job. And that's something to keep in mind too, is that when you're rushing like that, you're not only putting yourself in danger, but you're putting others in danger too, when you're having to go above the speed limit or tailgate people to try to make it to work or school on time, right? So they want you to just pay attention to those actions that you have. And it might not even be that extreme. It might just be like, I wake up 10 minutes late and I feel like I'm so rushed in the morning, but I still leave it enough time to get myself safely to work. But they want you to say, instead of waking up 10 minutes late, can you think about waking up 20 minutes early and not feel like that's taking time away from you, because it's really not. Right? Think about if you woke up 20 minutes early and you didn't have to rush, how much more peaceful would your day be? And that's what the dragons are trying to bring through for you here. The powerful message is that you're in control. You have the ability to make a decision here to affect the betterment of your day-to-day life, which is by planning and creating a viable plan to live by and routine to live by. And through that, you're going to gain a lot of recognition from that, and whatever that is, okay, whatever that is. So it's like at work, if you're not stressing when you get to work, your bosses are going to notice that energetic change, and they're going to put you up for the next promotion. Do you see what I'm saying? Or they're like seeing that, like, wow, you know what, pile 2 is really, really changed in the last month because they're not so hectic when they're rushing into work, and they don't feel so disconnected, and now they're really paying attention to the clients and the phone calls that they have to make, or whatever it is that you do, or even customers, right? You have customers that you're attending to. Maybe you're a cashier and you just have customers, and maybe you've had issues with your drawer being a couple pennies short, and now it's not, because you're so present by just doing one little shift in your routine where it helps make you extremely present and brings a sense of patience into your own self, and not this feeling like I'm so comfortable with the way things are, even though you're really not, right? And take it as it resonates. That's the example that they're giving me here. It's like something that you become extremely comfortable with, but in reality, it's your emotional ego here with the Ace of Swords that's really comfortable with it, and you're not. Your spirit's ready for this change, right? With the 7 of Wands here, you will overcome this, you will persevere, you will get through this, but it's your emotional ego that is very comfortable with this, okay? And they're saying that it's hard, it's difficult to face this reality in the open. Like, it's difficult to say, like, yeah, maybe I am being a little lazy when it comes to my dreams and my goals. Yeah, it is. it is difficult for me to face the fact that it's hard for me to say, you know what, I should make more time or I should wake up earlier, but I just love sleeping in. Look, I get it. I'm a Pisces. I love sleeping in, and that is something that I have had to work with myself time and time again. I get that. Okay? It's like I said, I understand this message at the depth of my heart, and it's like, it's hard sometimes to say, yeah, I'm the one that's causing a lot of problems in my life because I'm so comfortable with the way things were. We have Saturn energy coming out here, feeling restricted, experiencing struggle. You're learning hard work and patience through this struggle. But the struggle is actually you overcoming a part of yourself. And, you know, I love this. It's interesting. This hasn't really come up a whole lot with the Sun card, but do you see this wall back here? This wall feels like it's a huge block to both of these children in the scene. When it's in the reverse, it feels like it's mountains high. But if you notice, it's just a short little wall. All you have to do is step on the other side. But sometimes we just make mountains out of molehills because that's what our emotional ego is so used to doing. And this is just about giving yourself some grace and honoring, you know, saying to yourself, you know what? It is hard. It is hard for me to change this, but we also know that it would be better. And giving validation to your emotional ego. But I love watching my favorite show for hours on end. Okay, I agree, and I think that's great, but how about we watch it, but instead of watching it, binge watching it all night long until 1 o'clock in the morning, we're going to only watch one episode every night, or cut back an episode every night. You know, you don't have to do it cold turkey like crazy, but they're saying this is a time for you to shift. We have Venus energy with give and receive love, find value, and see beauty. So this is where they want you to really pour into giving yourself that love, that compassion, that kindness, and grow from that. And then we have Jupiter with grow and expand. I love that. Thank you so much, dragons. That was such a beautiful confirmation. Yeah, this is about your spiritual growth, your internal growth. And then on the bottom, we have Aquarius energy with originality, philanthropy, and progressive imaginings. So the way that you do this is going to be unique for you. Let it be. That's okay. Let it be unique for you. It doesn't have to be the way that someone else would do it. It doesn't even have to be the exact examples that I'm giving you here. Ask the dragons for assistance in finding a way to make this work for you. Ask Source, ask your angels, ask your guides. Yeah, exactly. Communion with Eagle. It's okay to ask for help. Okay, it's okay to ask for guidance. If you sit in stillness and you ask, you will receive the answers. Look, we have reflections. It's time for you to reflect upon yourself. You know, the winter solstice is a time where we actually look at ourselves over the last year. Like, how did we show up? What actions did we take? Did we take the highest aligned actions for ourselves, or did sometimes we stumble? Guess what? We're human. We're always going to stumble. But that doesn't mean that we can't make the right choice right now. It means that, you know, we learn from our past, and if we choose to, not everybody wants to, and that's okay. Look, this soul with butterfly on the bottom, number 28, which is 10, this is the completion of a cycle. This is part of your soul's purpose, but you have to choose to transform, you know. And it's interesting. We think about the butterfly coming from the caterpillar, but we never think about the chrysalis stage and how uncomfortable it is. I mean, the caterpillar literally turns to a mush of goo. It's just goo in that little chrysalis, in the cocoon. It's not an actual physical being. It's not solid. It goes through a very uncomfortable transformation to turn into this beautiful thing, but it has to go through itself. Right? The butterfly doesn't need anyone else to tell it that it's a butterfly to turn. The caterpillar doesn't need someone to say, hey, you have to do this, and otherwise you'll never be a butterfly. It just knows that this is a part of the process. It's just like your soul is trying to remind you that this is a part of the process, and the dragons are here giving you that guidance that this is exactly how you can start with that transformation process. Like we have number 44 coming out with the truth card, Jackal. So they're saying this is something that's very truthful to your soul. I feel like this is resonating very deeply for those of you that are resonant with this message. And then we have cycles with hair, number 31. So we have 444 coming out with the oracle cards here. This is all about finding stability, remembering that you are stronger than you think you are, but structure and stability is so important here. Foundation, your determination to find that solid foundation as well by letting go of those cycles in the past that have not served you well. Hey, you know what? It's fun and games, right? It's all fun and games. But think about, I think about to my younger age when it was so much fun and games to party all the time. But imagine partying like that your whole life. It's not fun and games after a certain age. It's just miserable, right? And that's kind of how our soul feels when our ego's gotten used to just kind of taking the reins and leading us on for so long. There's a point where the soul's like, okay, you think it's fun and games, but in reality, you're not recognizing that you're miserable right now. And that's okay, right? There's nothing in here where the soul's like, shame on you. No, that's not at all how our soul treats us. That's not at all how any of the higher light beings, the dragons, source, the angels, our guides, none of them would ever treat us like that. They all are trying to guide us with the highest love possible, saying, we see your suffering. We see your suffering when you don't see your suffering. And we're trying to give you all the signs to get you back onto the path that's going to help you get out of suffering. But our emotional ego is like, oh no, that's uncomfortable. I don't know what that path has in store for us, so we can't go that way. And so it's a constant battle with ourselves, right? And and they appreciate that and they understand that. We have platypus. Stop complaining and focus your attention on the blessing in your life. Wow. Okay, so that was kind of forward. We're just going to be honest. This is a new animal deck that I got. It's by Stephen D. Farmer. It's the same guy who makes the Earth Magic Oracle deck. So, yeah, they're saying, like, that's what I was saying. Like, when you're like, I don't have time, I don't have time, I don't have time. The more that you say, I don't have time, the more that becomes your reality. Because wherever your attention is, that's what we manifest in life, right? So that's what's flowing in is saying, I don't have time to do that. I don't have time to focus on that. I don't have time to give to that. But it's like, if you stopped and looked at every action that you did each and every day, could you make time? Could you make space? That's the question. Or is it that you don't want to make time and space because that means that you would have to give up something that you potentially love, but aren't really loving, right? So, humpback whale. Music is essential to your healing and well-being, whether singing, playing an instrument, or listening. So it's interesting because I'm getting this message where it's like, if you want to learn how to play the guitar or the piano or something, you actually have to go and learn to play the guitar or the piano. It's not going to play itself, right? So that's the same kind of attitude they want you to take when it comes to this part of your life. You have to learn to make time and space for the things that you desire in life, because there's no amount of wishing where time is going to just magically appear. We have Wombat Spirit coming out with be at home, but this is also giving me that energy that this is something that has to do with your home space. Okay, it's actually something at home that you have control over, that you're not seeing it as control over. You're just seeing it as it's just coming in willy-nilly, taking me wherever it takes me, and I'm just along for the ride. And I feel like they're saying, like, you actually have a lot more control in this situation than you realize. And then we have Chameleon Spirit with act as if. So act as if you're already there, right? Act as if you already have that promotion. Act as if you already have that lifestyle that you're dreaming about. What does that mean to you? If you want to be a fitness competitor, act as if you have to show up and do the work, right? So acting as if means taking the actions necessary today to get to where you want to tomorrow. That's how you act as if. It's not like, oh, I'm already a published author. It's saying, I am a published author because I write every day. Right? Or I am a successful psychic medium because I practice readings every day. Or I am a successful lawyer because I practice law every day. But it's like doing the work and not complaining about the work, just showing up and doing it. And reclaim your power with 44. So we have 44 coming out twice. 444 is an extremely powerful number for you, pile 2. It is all about you finding the strength, structure, and stability in your life right now as things are. You can choose to make a tiny shift, and that is the message that the dragons are sending you. But let's take a look at your dragon oracle cards and see what came through. So the first one... Wow, the first one out is transformation. Look, you've already got butterflies coming in like crazy here. Oh, I love that. Thank you so much. Thank you, dragons. Let's see what transformation says from the book. That is the number 4 card. All right. So it says, transformation says, let it all go. The self-doubt, the anger, sorrow, or even frustration, you no longer need these experiences. They are in the past. They have completed their task and hold no place in your future. By holding on to them, you only serve to hold yourself trapped in an old pattern, no longer necessary or of use to you. A new you is emerging, maybe a quieter you, a more considered you, certainly a more powerful you. You have experienced a great many things, and now is the time to put that experience to good use. Follow your inner guidance and let your old habits and self-doubt slip away. There will always be those who question what you do. That is their journey. You are on yours. Follow the steps laid out before you, trusting your own inner light as you move towards a fresh way of being you. This transformation can be on any level and affect any or every part of your life. Enjoy it and be aware of the signs and in particular symbols, as dragons love symbols, as you are guided by the dragon of transformation to take your next steps. Oh, I love that already. Such a powerful message. So let's check out your Pride of the Dragons Oracle card. We have... No! Oh my gosh, that happened! What? We have 44, 44, and 44 coming out in your reading like a beast. Like a beast. So you may have ties to this number, but that is next level. We have Pride of the Archangels. What? Oh my gosh, I love that. That is actually the last card of the deck, and it came out for you, pile 2. What is happening right now? So, this is your dragon. It says, this is the Archangel of, it's Archangel Michael holds a sword with burning with Christ light flames. An archangel's sword is the most powerful weapons in the seraphim's armory, and the same applies to this dragon. Here we meet a giant, bronze-red, Nordic-like dragon ripped from the terrifying tales of the Vikings. It has huge horns, Michael's blue aura, and a fiery gaze that stares through the realms. The dragon's size is immeasurable by human standards, and its sheer power unstoppable. It is capable of destroying whole mountains, lands, and worlds with a single fiery breath. Truly a dragon of Archangel Michael. This is the most powerful celestial being of all the prides and absolutely knows no fear. Michael's dragon leads the march of his army of light, an armada advancing across the realms in the name of the Christ light itself. This dragon recites Michael's war cry across the realms. I am the light. I fight for you in the light. I protect you with the light. I stand with you in the light. Can you hear that sound just to the right? It is my dragon, my sword of angelic fire, crackling and sparkling. It's ready for anyone who may challenge you in the light. You are the leader of your own battalion, so call upon my dragon and with him march as one unified body of light across your earth. United as one, never divided. United as one, never defeated. You're being called to soldier forward, so take up the sword of deliverance and fight with the army of light. Whoa. That is next level. That's such a powerful message indeed. Oh my lordy lord. Okay. So right now, this part of your journey is about the fight for bringing the light aspect to the realm of this earth, right? So they're asking you that in the name of light for you to stand and to fight for your foundational rights in this world and know that you can control your time. If you choose to, you make that choice, you will see the transformation happen and you will walk in your soul's purpose without question. You will have time for fun, for freedom, for everything if you make this switch in your routine, if you make this switch to fight for what it is that you want in your life and know that time is your only source of income right now, right? And it matters. Because once you spend it, you can't get it back. And it matters so much. There's no replenishing that time, but there is making space and time for right now for you so that later on you get to enjoy the beauty of everything that you've asked for. This was an incredible message, pile 2, like absolutely next level. If you felt like this was your message, you can leave either 44 in the comment box or leave a butterfly, the monarch butterfly in the comment box and say, I take control of my time, knowing that I'm fighting for the army of light to bring this world to the new age. That was so powerful, like so powerful. I felt that in my soul. If it resonated with you, it'd mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, you will find all those links necessary below in the description box. In order to do so, you can email me for a personal reading. You can follow me on over to my podcast at Spotify at Scatter Love Radio. You can even join as a member, and I would love to see you on memberships. But if not, thank you for your continued support here. I am going to go ahead and leave this here and get on out of here. But I do want to take a quick second to thank the dragons, thank your guide, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this very powerful message indeed. And until next time, pile number 2, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful unakite stone here, or if you were drawn to these 2 cards during the shuffle, then this is going to be your powerful message from the dragons. First, I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey, this channel, this ever-growing tribe. Truly honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. And for those of you that are new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. And should these messages happen to resonate with you, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. So that being said, let's go ahead and hop to it and find out what is pile number 3, what is their powerful message from the dragons of highest light and love. So dragons of highest light and love, what is the powerful message that you have for pile number 3? Dragons of highest light and love, what is the powerful message that you have for pile number 3? Okay, ooh, so we've got South Node, we've got the 8th house, and we have Aries energy. And it's interesting because I was shuffling getting ready for this, the South Node and the North Node came out while I was shuffling right before your guys' reading. So, interesting energy that we would get the South Node in the dice. So there's this energy of truly embracing the part of yourself that's been difficult to embrace. They want you to shed light on the darkness within. This is through a certain type of practice that you can do. That could be journaling. It could be some sort of ritual. It could be some sort of self-care that you do, some sort of self-reflection that you're doing here. But it's showing here they want you to come out of this old belief system that is saying like, oh, I have to deny this part of myself, or I have to shun this part of myself, or if I have to let this part of myself go because it's not pretty, it's not beautiful, it's not sunshiny, it's dark, right? But the darkness, the shadow side of ourself is actually our biggest hurdle in life. And so when we choose to look at that part of ourselves, pile 3, then we can shed the light on it and understand that even though there are things that we have done in our lives, some actions that have been very questionable in our life, that when we own that and we acknowledge that part of ourselves, we can then grow beyond that and say that that's not who I am. That's just a story in my life. That's just an experience that I went through. And so the dragons here are highlighting that they want you to let go of this energy. And that's right. The South Node talks about the baggage that we've carried up until this point. This is past baggage. This is past life baggage, if you believe in past lives, or it's just baggage from the life that you've lived this time around. But it's just talking about everything that you've carried from your past up until this point. We're making it known at this point, we're making this known that we want you to shed light on the fact that that has been comfortable for you to carry around that heaviness, when in reality that's It's the biggest anchor in your journey. It's like you have this beautiful yacht that you want to sail out on the ocean, but you can't take it anywhere because you don't know how to pull the anchor up. And that's what it's showing here. It's like they're really trying to help you shed a light on this part of yourself. And it's difficult because that's the part that's hidden, right? And we think about the 8th house connecting with Scorpio energy. Scorpio's connected with Pluto. It's the planet of transformation, but it's also the planet that's the furthest out in our galaxy. It's the one that's the hardest to see. And so this is subconscious energy coming through, showing that this is difficult for you to see because it's a part of yourself that you've compartmentalized or buried for a long time. And so the dragons are just trying to bring this to light here when you shed light on this part of yourself. And if you take one step at a time, we're putting one foot in front of the other. Start journaling about your past experience. Start journaling about how you showed up in your past experiences. So what they're showing me here is like someone who maybe has blamed everyone for the whole of their life. Well, the only reason that I did those things is because, you know, Sam showed up and Sam did what he did or what she did, and it created this situation where I had to show up in a negative place so that I could defend myself. And what they're saying is to not take away from that validation of that experience, but rather say, you know what, I showed up because I didn't know how to show up any better in that moment. And I take accountability for my actions of that moment, because now I'm in a space where I am different and I see things differently, and I would show up differently if that were to happen today. And it's not invalidating your experience. It's saying I was valid in acting that way because I didn't know any better. Because if you had known better, you would have shown up differently, right? But that's not always the case. We don't always know better. And so that's what they're pointing out here, is there's situations in your past that you're holding on to an old paradigm, an old idea of that situation that may not be entirely true. It's only one side of the coin. And as we know, there's always two sides to every coin. And so your story might not be the same as the story that's on the other side. But if you can step back from what you identify with within that story, then you can begin to look at a panoramic view of what had happened. And when you look at that panoramic view, it gives you insight to how you were in the situation and why you showed up the way you did in the situation. But it also gives you insight to maybe the other person's wounds in the situation or the circumstance of itself. And you're able to say like, oh, okay, like I see that this was a misunderstanding and that we both were doing what we wanted to do to protect ourselves, or that the circumstance just wasn't right for you at that time. And so the dragons are asking you to really shed a light on this and not stand blaming others or stand just compartmentalizing that blame. You know, like if you've lived in that blame from the past and now you're on the path to finding unconditional love, you may not recognize or realize that you've compartmentalized that blame because you've let go of so much. But it's like really honoring all those moments that you showed up. And, you know, from my own experience that they want to share here is that when I was with my ex, he was an abusive narcissist, and I stayed with him for 8 years. And yes, he was an abusive narcissist, but instead of victim blaming or victim shaming myself, the other thing is to honor the fact that I have to take accountability that I knew what he was like and I still showed up and I still stayed in that circumstance, right? So that's one side of the coin. Can be like, well, it's his fault. Like he should have gotten his stuff together. Like he should have been the one to change. But I was still a whole person in that situation, still capable of making decisions, still capable of leaving that situation, and I didn't. And I honor that at that time, I really felt like I didn't have a choice. Right? But I had to heal from that situation to be able to look back and understand my younger self's actions. And that's what they're trying to bring in here right now. The powerful message is that understanding your past self actions will help remove the South Node energy that's been very present in your life, or patterns that have been cyclical in your life and repeating themselves, and bring you into a space of really aligning you with what it is that you desire. So whatever that is, right? Let's get some tarot out on it. So dragons of highest light and love, what powerful message do you have for pile number 3? Dragons of highest light and love, what powerful message do you have for pile number 3? Dragons of highest light and love, what powerful message do you have for pile number 3? Okay, thank you. What powerful message do you have for pile number 3? This could have been a Pisces that you've dealt with, or you could have Pisces highly aspect in your chart. Pisces moon is definitely coming through. Pisces south node is also coming through, or Pisces north node. That is a very specific confirmation for someone who needs to hear it, okay? So dragons of highest light and love, what powerful message do you have for pile number 3? Okay, thank you. Dragons of highest light and love, what powerful message do you have for pile number 3? Okay, thank you. Ooh, it's a mystery pile 3. We've got a mystery on our hands. Let's get with it. Let's see what comes out. Okay, on the bottom, yeah, we have the Magician in the reverse. Right? And this is interesting because usually the Magician in reverse talks about nefarious ways. Like we've done nefarious things in our lives, or somebody else has been very nefarious with us. Very tricky, very sleazy. You know, very, very much in the shadows. They've worked in the shadows. But this is so interesting because the energy that I'm getting from the Magician right now is that you haven't recognized a part of yourself that you're capable of manifesting something because you don't want to face it, and that's okay. Like, they're not saying, like, you have to face this, like, shame on you for... No one is saying that. I'm not saying that. You're human. We're all human. We have all just ignored parts of ourselves because it's so much easier than looking in the mirror and saying, I have to face this part of myself that I didn't want to face. I'd rather forget. Right? And so that's what the Magician really feels like. It was 10:10 on the clock. Magician really feels like that energy, like, I just don't want to face this part of myself. Yeah, and so with the King of Wands coming out in reverse right behind that, it's showing that this is self-sabotage. Okay, anytime the Ace of Wands or the King of Wands shows up, the main message is self-sabotage. This is feeling like you don't have enough courage. It's feeling like it's easier to be in that cowardice type energy. And again, that's the emotional ego taking over, right? That's the emotional ego coming forward and saying, like, no, we're not going to face that because it's safer to stay, you know, that stays hidden. It's safer that stays in the darkness. We don't want to shed light on that because that's really ugly. And when we shed light on that, it means that we have to face that, and we don't want to face that. And so that's what this energy really feels like here. It's like that south node energy at its finest, 11:01 on the clock. You have this energy of you have faith in the situation and trusting this process, but at the same time not having faith because of something that you feel like may put you in a position where you don't deserve love, or it may bring to light and confirm all those things that your emotional ego has been really ugly and telling you for so long. And, you know, you come to light, you bring the situation to light and you say, man, I really don't deserve all the good things that I have in my life because I did XYZ. And they're saying, like, no, not at all. That does not defer you from having love. Like, what's peeking out here? Yeah, the Seven of Cups. Sometimes you have to set an emotional boundary with your ego. Sometimes you have to look at your emotional ego and be like, you know, I understand that life is tough, and I understand that we've been through a lot. And I understand that it has been really difficult, but that's all an illusion and it's all in the past, and that's not how life is now. You know, I agree with you, it was hard when we were going through it, but it's not the way that it is now. And we don't have to be in that place of completely identifying with our past any longer. We can let things go and we can experience something new in this moment. Let's see what came out. Yeah, look. Whoa. Let's just... Before I turn over anything else, we've got the Strength in the reverse. The Strength in the reverse being the first card here, it's showing this is repressed energy, repressed memories. This is things that you've been through that have been so difficult for you. This is things that you were just like, I have basically like shut that behind some closet door, and that's where I continue to bury skeletons, and I don't want to open that door because that is a really scary, scary door. Right? It's a very scary door. To open that means that I have to face a part of myself that I had repressed for so long. And sometimes it's hard to do that. But look, the strength card in the Tarot Marseille is the number 11 card. We had 1101 on the clock. So we have 11111 coming out right here. 5 ones together. This is talking about having faith that the divine knows what they're doing, that they're leading you towards the highest version of yourself. And sometimes that means that you have to walk through the scariest parts of life, because that's a part of the process. But what they're trying to remind you here is that you are never, and I want you to hear this, pile 3, you are never, ever alone. They're not leaving you alone. Look, even the dragons are here affording you their power. They're affording you their strength. They're affording you their protection. They're saying, we got your back. We would never leave you alone to walk this scary road. Never, ever. Because it is scary, and they're acknowledging how frightening it is for you to acknowledge what it is that's happened to you in the past. And equally so, in some situations for pile 3, it's hard for you to acknowledge the role that you may have played in parts of your past as well. And I'm not saying that's going to resonate with everyone, but for some here, that is going to resonate. They're saying, we know that's scary, but nothing that you have ever done and nothing that you have ever been through would ever tarnish the love that the divine has for you. Not anything in the world could ever tarnish that love. It's unconditional love. What we're coming from in this energy is a mindset of conditional love. Oh, I'm only lovable if I'm this perfect image, or if I'm living a perfect life, or if I forget the past, or if I don't rehash the past. And the dragons and source are here saying, we love you because of and in spite of all of that. It does not matter what you've been through. We love you because you're a pure soul being at the heart of who you are, and nothing could tarnish your soul. But it doesn't mean that nothing can tarnish our human body and the human experience that we're living in, right? But that's our emotional ego trying to put us in this mindset that we're broken, or that we're incomplete, or that we're not a whole light being, that we are somehow flawed. And that's not true. And so with strength starting the reading here in the reverse, is showing that there's this repressed energy that the dragons are trying to help you, which goes hand in hand with the 8th house energy. This is something of the subconscious that we're trying to help you heal. With temperance coming in here, temperance is a beautiful energy of this beautiful blending of opposites, a blending of the light and the dark attributes, this understanding that without one, the other ceases to exist, right? If you did not have light, you would not have dark. If you did not have dark, you would not have light. They just would cease to exist if one of them were to go away. Which is also very poetic to look at as being a human here experiencing this life, because it means that without your shadow side, your light side would not exist. That's a beautiful way to look at it. So it means that all encompassing, you're both attributes at all times. It doesn't mean that you're feeding both attributes at each time. It means that you're both attributes, and that you can use that knowledge to understand the past part of you that didn't understand that. And it equally means that you can use that knowledge now to begin to understand others and come from a place of compassion for others for where they're at now. So we see this beautiful blending, and even the angels are coming in here with temperance here. It's like you're not alone. Like they're trying to show you just how loved and protected you are. And sometimes it's so hard when it feels like we've been walking this journey by ourselves, or when we're feeling disconnected from our guides or from the divine, the dragons, whatever it is that you pray to or feel like is your team. It feels like for you, pile 3, you've spent such a time feeling disconnected, like they don't have your back. And it's not that they don't have your back, it's they're trying to help you deal with the darkest part of yourself that your emotional ego has convinced you should not even exist. And that is somehow the reason that they don't love you or that they're not there for you. And that is so far from the truth. They're holding you and carrying you at times you might not even realize, because when you're that disconnected, it's hard to feel that divine loving presence. And when you're that disconnected within yourself, and when you're not loving yourself that deeply or having unconditional love for yourself, or even self-love, right? Just that start of self-love for you, it's hard to feel that divine connection because you're coming from a place that you've seen with your eyes and not something that you're feeling with your heart. And so seeing isn't right? Seeing isn't believing, and believing isn't seeing. Those are two things that we have to remember. Just because you're seeing something doesn't mean that you have to believe what you're seeing. And because you believe in something doesn't mean that you have to see it, right? So when you embody that type of energy, then you can let go. It looks like a lot of this cold energy. There's a lot of coldness coming through here. There's a lot of anger and upset, a lot of disconnect coming through here. You have a very closed off heart chakra when it comes in regards to this. And I feel like you may have been working on heart chakra healing for a long time with no avail. Like it just seems like it's just like a never-ending story with you. It's like I'm working on it. I feel like I'm opening my heart. You know, I'm shedding. I'm going through the tears. I'm going through this process. But this is something that is very scary for you to even look at. And they're saying that we're here giving you this guidance. We're here giving you this strength. We're here helping you with this part of yourself and reminding you that this part of you deserves to be loved as much as the rest of you deserves to be loved. And when we love this part of ourselves and know that it's not separate from us, but it actually is a part of us, but also that we don't have to identify with it any longer, then you begin to loosen the grip and the bind and the armor that has been covering your heart chakra for what feels like a lifetime or many lifetimes in some instances. Okay. Yeah, we want you to move on. Look, your cards, you got all 4 mystery cards out on the table. This is a massive story, pile 3. This is a massive situation coming in. So not only is this a powerful message from the dragons, like they're trying to point out just how massive this is. So with the Fool card coming in here, it's like saying that once you heal, then look at how light your baggage is, right? We talked about how the South Node is about our past baggage. But look, when you heal and you come into this full energy and ready to take that leap, we're guiding you through and you have so little to take with you. Right now, it feels like you have this huge anchor. And I talked about that in the dice reading. It was like this huge anchor that's holding you back. And now it's like you're not even on the yacht. Like you see, oh, I'm going on to fresh land and I'm going to explore around on land. And I just have my knapsack here that I'm taking with me that just has the essentials in it, which is all you needed in the first place. But the emotional ego somehow convinces us that we need so much more. We need to hold on to so much more than we really do. And so this is like the mischievousness of your emotional ego coming out that the dragons are trying to point out for you and help you with, because it's something that may be really hard for you to acknowledge at this time, because you have been doing the healing work. You have been trying to become a better version of yourself. You've been trying to become more aligned with your path of purpose. But it just feels like something is holding on, and this feels like it's just something that you've repressed. Like you're seeing either through rose-colored glasses, or you're just refusing to acknowledge happened to you or is a part of your life at all. And I get it. I completely understand that there's nothing wrong with you because you've done this. That is a very human thing for us to do. And you're not alone on this journey. In fact, if you feel like this resonates, would you leave a number 3 down below with a heart, any color of your choice, and just say you're not alone, or just leave a 3 and a heart so that other pile 3s know that they're not alone on this journey. Because you're not. You never have been, and you never will be. And even if you felt alone, you haven't. It's at the times that we feel at our most alone is when we're actually being carried and protected by our spiritual team the most. It's those disconnected moments when our spiritual team is fighting so many battles for us that we don't even know exist. And so right now they're definitely fighting a battle, and the fact that you have the higher ascended masters of the dragons coming in giving this message, it just goes to show that you have an army at your back that is doing things for you that cannot be felt in the physical realm right now. And that's okay. That's okay. They're trying to bring you into alignment so that you can feel this powerful energy. And that's something that takes time and practice and consistency. And you're going to get there. I know you are, Pile 3. I know you are. I can feel it. All right, let's get some oracles out for you here. Look, house 2. Look, we have, I cannot. They said physical security was the first one that comes out. What did I just say? You were so protected. And the first thing they're saying is physical security. You may be struggling physically in life, feeling like you are secure, feeling like you have enough, or feeling like you are enough. And they're saying absolutely you are enough. You have everything that you need right now. We have physical security, possessions, material values, but the main thing here is self-worth. And I just feel like the physical security comes out as that confirmation of just how protected you are. And, you know, the number 2 is a very dualistic natured number. It's showing exactly what I was saying, like the light attribute and the dark attribute. It's saying without one, the other ceases to exist. That is the duality of life. We live in a contrast realm. That's just how it is. There's no getting around that. There's nothing we can do to change that. But when we embrace that, we can do so much more with our lives, and we can leave the South Node behind for good, which means that we walk in a place that's uncomfortable, but that's far more fulfilling than we could have ever imagined. Okay, and so look. Yes! Thank you! We have the North Node coming out for you right there. Destined to have. Yes! I love that, right? Look. Didn't I say that? I felt that too. Like when I was shuffling and getting ready for your reading, I saw both the South Node and the North Node come up out of this deck when I was shuffling getting ready for your reading. It was so profound. But we have the South Node in your dice, and we have the North Node coming towards the end of your reading with the oracles. So they're showing, it's like we're trying to lead you on to exactly what's yours, to gaining everything that you've ever wanted in life, right? We have fire energy with Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. They want you to come into this place of having confidence, being optimistic, and really pouring into your passion and being brave. You're so much more brave than you give yourself credit for. You feel like it's just, I've lived in fear for so long. Like, it's easier for me to live in fear. It's easier to live in that energy of repression. And they're saying, embrace your bravery, your courageousness, and your fierceness, and ask us for help, because the dragons will afford you that energy. We have the beautiful love and compassion card coming out for you here. And this card talks about self-love, about giving that beautiful love to yourself. When you pour into yourself, you give yourself so much more than anyone else could. And when you love yourself wholeheartedly, you make space for this type of energy to come forward so that you can transmute it into something that's conducive for the journey of highest light and love, for your journey of highest light and love. And that gives you additional strength as you move. This is not a love card like romantic love. This card literally talks about self-love. And we talked about that earlier, even on your reading. A lot of confirmations. We have rain with purification here. It would really be good for you to drink more water. It would be really good for you to go and dance in the rain, take even more baths, more showers. This is all about purifying your spirit and reconnecting you with that innocence that's within. I love this. I love this for you. I know it's a difficult reading, pile number 3, but through the difficult times, you become this beautiful butterfly that spreads your wings and flies, and you become a source of profound light for others and healing, but in a very majestic way, and in a way that not everybody is going to be, okay? Yes, reciprocity with honeybee, number 6. We're trying to show you, we're giving you what you're giving, right? And it's hard. It's hard for the spiritual realm to be always in that place of like, you know, we're giving to you. You don't see it, but we're giving to you if you can't feel it, right? When you come into this place of being grounded in yourself and knowing that this is all for purpose, everything you've experienced is all for your greater purpose, even if it was ugly, even if it was awful, even if it was terrible. But when you can accept that it's all been for your greater purpose, and you begin to love yourself wholeheartedly and give yourself grace. I feel like giving yourself grace is so important for you, pile 3. Like, it's hard for you. I feel like you're very judgmental of yourself. And they're saying when you give yourself grace and you come back into this balance, and the number 6 for me is also, not only is it solutions and resolutions, it's seeing yourself through eyes of unconditional love and seeing yourself as the divine sees you, seeing yourself as the dragon seeing you, as this beautiful, pure being. Nothing could ever tarnish you. Okay? When you finally see yourself with eyes of love, it doesn't have to be full unconditional love first, but when you begin loving yourself deeply, you'll begin feeling the reciprocal energy of the universe, of the dragons, of your angels, of your spirit guides, of everyone that's in the spiritual realm. You're going to begin tapping into that nuanced energy that's there, that we all have the ability to tap into, but sometimes we're just very disconnected because we are so harsh on ourselves. Look, we have number 11 coming out with power and deer. Again, with 1. So 111 is a very powerful number for you, and 1111 is very powerful. And 11 is a number of spiritual transformation and ascension. And here you have this humongous moon here, and it's like through your emotions, you'll ascend even higher than you could have ever imagined. When you embody and embrace your power. And remember that celebrating the small things as much as you celebrate the big things. We have rattlesnake. The experiences you're presently going through are an initiation to fulfilling your purpose as healer. I cannot make this up. I cannot make this up. Source coming in, the dragons coming in, your angels coming in, everybody coming in saying, guess what? Everything that you went through, even though it was awful, it was hard, it was difficult, your soul said, I want to go through this experience so that I can become a healer of the world. And that's what you did. But as a human, we forget that when we wake up as humans. We're like, we forget that. We forget that we chose that. And so it's easy for us to get stuck in, oh my gosh, the whole world is against me. Like, everybody's against me and nobody understands me. And I'm this beautiful soul, but nobody gets to experience me as this beautiful soul because everybody and their mom is out to get me for some reason. And I don't understand why. What did I do to deserve this? And oftentimes, pile 3, you didn't do anything to deserve it. It was just a choice that your soul made. And you'd be like, why was my soul so cruel to me? And it's like, when you're as a light being in love, you don't see it as cruelty because it's not. You're doing it with the sheer expectation and knowledge that you as a human self are going to be so much stronger and more resilient going through all this stuff. And that it's all those hardships that actually help you tap into the deepest well of your power, the reserves that are there for you. So the experiences that you're presently going through are initiation into fulfilling your purpose as a healer. So we already have a look here, the dragon saying that you are a healer. We have to heal ourselves though, right? That's the first thing. We have zebra on the bottom. Let go of your fear and know that you are safe and protected at all times. This is so much confirmation. Thank you, dragons. Thank you, source. Thank you, angels. Thank you, everyone. So much confirmation for you, pile number 3. Oh, I want to give you such, let me do that. Let me give you a big energetic hug, okay? Okay, this is a hug from me to you of love and light and healing energy of the violet light ray from source energy. Okay? You are held, you are loved, you are lovable, and you are loving. Magic works through you. Yes. You are a magical being, but you have to open up to that magic inside by letting go of the past. That's how you step up into this node energy and really, really, truly begin to embrace your path of purpose. Bring your ideas to life. We have number 24, which is 6 again, seeing yourself through eyes of unconditional love. This is opening up to that resolution, the solution on your journey, understanding that you have a right to express yourself in this world. And even though it's been difficult and it's been hard, that you have a right to be loved, but you have to move from that, it's that victim mindset into that empowerment phase, right? We're going from being a victimized empath to an empowered empath. And that's exactly the message that the dragons are bringing to you today. Look, and underneath that we have, because my finger got stuck, it has dove spirit with be peace. So acceptance is the only way to come into peace. Accepting that what is, it's already done, it's already happened, it's already gone through, and there's nothing you can do to change it. No holding on to it is going to change what has happened. But it doesn't mean that you have to let all of that stuff change who you are. It makes you stronger, and it helps you find more conducive ways to be empowered in the realm, in this 3D realm. Okay? So we're going to read these from the book. We're going to start with the Dragon Path Oracle first. What do we have here? Hearn with number 33. And you are pile number 3. So I love that already. I think this is the last card in the deck. Yeah, this is a powerful energy too. It says the earthly dragon of Hearn acts as a reminder of the cycles of life, death, rebirth, and the turning of the seasons. He reminds us that everything is cyclical, along with how out of sync we are with the earth's natural rhythm, and that our internal body clock has forgotten nature's natural pattern. We can't imagine life without our internet-connected phones, social media, 24/7 TV. However, all of these things act as a smokescreen from delving into ourselves, listening to our own internal patterns, reconnecting to ourselves, and in tune the rhythm of the planet's breath. He says, you celebrate May Day, Halloween, Christmas, and other festivals, yet you forget the true essence of what they truly signify. They are a celebration of the turning of the seasons, of the earth's bounty, and you are out of step with these things. It's time to reevaluate, to slow down your fast-paced life, for you are constantly spinning on your axis rather than weaving with the earth's beautiful tapestry. Look at the trees, watch the waves, and listen to the bees, and we got honeybee. Your body and mind need time to rest and recharge. Hearn is another reminder that nothing lasts forever. Love and life, he says, for example, all these things in life are like the waxing and waning of the moon. It is forever changing. He's connected to everything within the natural world, the rocks, earth, trees, and plants, and he advises us that we would do well to remember that we too are part of the seasons, the earth's rotation, and Mother Earth herself. So a lot of your healing will come from spending time out in nature. The dragons are saying here, reminding you to reconnect with the cycles of earth. In order for us to let go of the cycles of the mind, we have to come back into that natural rhythm that is what the earth has been trying to give back to us. And in fact, I think if you study it, the earth's rhythm, the vibrational pattern of the earth is at 108, and the moon is also at 108, and it's at 108 hertz. And I don't know if you can listen to a frequency of that, but it might help if they have it available. But what they're saying here is that when we get out of sync, that's when mass destruction begins to happen. And if it's true for the earth, because we are beings of the earth, we come from this earth, right? We too, if we're out of sync, we begin mass destruction. And you see that with the South Node patterns here, that there's a mass destruction on an internal cellular level coming through here, that they're trying to help reconnect you back with that internal balance. And Earth does everything to remind us the balance of ourselves, which we see with the Earth Magic cards. You got the love card, the compassion card, the self-love card, right? So let's take a look at the Pride of Dragons Oracle for you. Wow, we have number 4, Hellish Trials, Pride of the Fallen. This is so trippy. This is like exactly that energy I was getting, like you just been through hell and back, right? And you may have watched pile number 2, so some of you might be here from pile number 2, because there are some similar messages here, and there's some similar synchronicities, but pile 2 is just out of this world, so for those of you that didn't, that's okay. You do not have to watch pile number 2, but if you felt called to pile number 2 also, there might be some very powerful messages for you there, okay? So this is the dragon that's connected to Malik, chief of the angels of hell, and it governs the law of the trials. So again, pointing out that what you've been through has been very difficult. Okay, the element is fire. It burns away self-deception. That is powerful. It says the gentle yet persistent tapping of the elegant, shiny ebony claw of a patient yet smug and devilish blue being in the shadows reaches your ear. But this dragon waits, biding its time. It knows your weakness, it knows your fears, but most of all, it knows the path to your downfall. It whispers from the shadows, addiction, indulgence, temptation. In doing so, it highlights what may be your overdependence on and seduction by material and physical pleasures. It's sinfully tantalizing, isn't it? Devilish almost. When this dragon appears, you're being advised to stop, drop your shoulders, and breathe deeply and take stock of your current situation. Are you living in fear, caged in, or dominated by your own obsessions? Do you harbor an obsession with someone else, perhaps? Or is there an area of your life that devours your whole being? Are you being deceived? This is a challenging question to answer at the best of times, but a poignant and essential one nonetheless. Caution is advised. You are on trial, and it's up to you to determine who the judge, jury, and executioner are in this courtroom. Will you pass this devilish test? And it's not to be afraid of this dragon or anything like that. That's just the energy that's coming through as they're trying to help you with what it is that's been holding you back. And we see that coming out here. It's been this repressed energy. It's something that's been in the shadows, and you have the dragon of shadows coming through saying, confirming that's exactly what the message is here. But we need you to come back into the light. You have this opportunity to get healing from the earth by coming back into the light and finding balance once again with your internal energy and letting go of that destructive chaos that's within. And even before I picked up this card, that's the energy that was coming in, was that it's like when we're out of sync with Earth's rhythm, we become internally destructive on a cellular level. And so they're trying to bring you back into a rhythmic pace that is going to put you back into that creative energy flow with your higher self, with the divine, but most importantly with the dragons here. They're really helping you to reconnect with this. The North Node is about connecting with the head of the dragon. The South Node is the tail of the dragon. That's the story between the nodes. And so the South Node is what we're trying to let go of so that we can embrace the head of the dragon, that uncomfortable place that we're headed towards. But it's actually an incredibly powerful reading here for you. Pile number 3. If you felt like this was your reading, leave a little fiery emoji down below and say, it is through the flames that I become cleansed and purified and step into my empowered self. And if it resonated with you, it means so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. If you're interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find all those links below in the description box in order to do so. You can email me for a personal reading. You can follow me on over to my podcast on Spotify at Scatter Love Radio. You can even join as a member, and I would love to see you on memberships. But if not, thank you for your continued support here. I truly do appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and leave this here and get on out of here. I do want to take a quick second, though, to thank the dragons, your spirit guides, your messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this powerful message. And until next time, pile number 3, stay human. Bye.